everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Yesenia and I'm a luxury travel agent. I plan trips for people, do some hotel reviews, and share tips and tricks on travel. And today we are talking about another all-inclusive resort in the Dominican Republic. So if you are looking for a place to stay in the DR, or if you're just wondering if the DR is a destination for you, stay tuned and watch this video. So today we are talking about the Grand Bavaro Princess Resort in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. So this was my second time staying at this hotel. I stayed back in 2020, so December 2020. We stayed for the New Year's celebration, New Year's Eve. And then this year we did the same thing as well. I was there from December 29th until January 1st. So it was 4 days and 3 nights. Being that this was the second time that I went, I definitely went into the resort with certain expectations of what the stay was going to be like. The first time I went, it was amazing. It was really nice. Obviously it was COVID, so there weren't that many people there. And I guess because of that, the service was so personalized. It was great. And I really enjoyed it. So I was expecting to have that same experience this second time around. Unfortunately, it wasn't exactly the same experience, but I'll get into that throughout the video. So first, let's talk about the overall ambiance of the resort. So the resort itself was recently renovated, and you can tell it has a very modern, minimalist vibe, neutral colors, beautiful aesthetic, I love it. The lobby is like open air. There's a beautiful pond, a fish pond when you walk into the lobby, and the decor is just really nice. The hotel itself is very, very big. It's humongous. Definitely not what I would consider walkable, which is why they actually offer like a little trolley train service that takes you, from the lobby to the restaurants, to the beach, to the pool. Because, you can walk it, but it's gonna take you a minute to get, from where you are to the beach and whatnot. And even in the rooms that I guess I would consider central, that were right in the middle between the lobby and the beach and pool, it was still a walk. So that's something to definitely keep in mind, especially depending on who it is that you're traveling with. If you're traveling with, someone who's older, who maybe, can't walk around a lot, you have to prepare yourself to wait for the little trolley. And it came around frequently, but, oftentimes it was packed because the moments that people wanted to get on the train was when everybody else wanted to get on. It was during dinner services or going to the beach and stuff like that. So sometimes you would have to wait for the second one to come around, but they were definitely coming around often enough where it wasn't extremely tedious to wait. The resort grounds were kept very beautiful. I always saw the sprinklers on. There was always workers, picking stuff up. You didn't see garbage or anything like that. So that was really, really beautiful. So definitely 10 out of 10 for the ambiance of the hotel. The next part is the rooms. So I was a little bit underwhelmed and disappointed with the rooms. First and foremost, it was 3 people in a room, so 2 twin beds and then a sofa bed. The sofa bed was not I wouldn't even consider it a bed, honestly. You could feel the springs because the mattress was just so thin. I don't want to be picky and expect I was going to get a Tempur-Pedic sofa bed, but definitely was expecting a little bit more comfort than what that sofa bed provided. And I was just a little bit more shocked too, given that, this resort was recently renovated. So I would figure that they would, make the quality of the beds a little bit better. The actual twin beds, they were obviously better than the sofa bed, but even then it was a little hard. I woke up with body aches and stuff, but nothing that was so serious. The other thing that disappointed me a little bit about the rooms was that they were a little bit I don't want to say dirty, but you can tell that they weren't thoroughly cleaned. And you can also tell like that they were renovated. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but like you can kind of see the materials and see like, oh, okay, they definitely did some work on this room. I'll insert pictures and stuff so that you can see what I mean. And again, I am not a very picky person. Like I don't really spend too much time in the room, so I'm not like pressed about, you know, it being perfect. But again, I expected more comparing it to the experience that I had back in 2020. The room we stayed at, I don't know, I'll insert the name of like the room category, but it was really nice. I like the setup of it. You know, you have kind of like a little loft style, so you have your beds at the top, then there's a couple of steps and you have your sofa, little dining table, beautiful balcony. And we got lucky enough, like we were located like right next to the lobby. So whenever it was time to go to dinner and the restaurants and stuff like that, we could just walk. We didn't have to always wait for the train. So that was really great. If you're wondering what building number that was, we were in the 8102. That was the room number. So that's like a good central building if you're looking for that. You know, the amenities were okay. Like, you know, they provided what we needed. We did have to ask several times for like extra like shampoo and body wash and stuff, because again, it was 3 of us, and most resorts, like they give you just enough for like 1 or 2 people. So we did have to ask. Another kind of negative was definitely that like our phone was like not working, and when we would call, like they wouldn't pick up. And I was just like, so how are we supposed to ask? So we had to like go out to the lobby. Like the rooms, I would give them a 3 out of 5. Enough for you to be, you know, comfortable and like do the sleeping part of your vacation, but not anything amazing where you feel like, you know, this is super luxurious service. The next thing, and this is probably like my favorite thing, was the pool and the beach. So one, the beach was amazing. It was so beautiful, so clean. I didn't see any issues with like seaweed or anything like that. And I spent a good chunk of my time at the beach. Follow me on TikTok if you want to know a little bit more about that. And it was wonderful. Like the sand was so nice and clear. There were lounge chairs that you could hang out. The water was warm. It was just amazing. Loved, loved, loved the beach. The pool, so they have several different pools. They have like a main pool that has your swim up bar. They have a quieter pool that has a bar right outside. And then they have like a platinum pool. And that's for the people that, you know, purchase like the platinum service level of their stuff. Side note, you know, I really don't know how I feel about when resorts do that kind of stuff, because it's kind of like, damn, what I paid wasn't enough. You want me to pay some more? But I get it, I suppose. I only spent time in the main pool with the swim up bar because I am who I am. My family is who they are. And we wanted to be around the music, around the drinks. And usually the main pool is like where there's more people to hang out and talk to. So quick plug, if you go to the main pool, go to the swim up bar and ask for Melvin and for Angelito. They are chef's kiss, amazing service, great bartenders, and they really made our time there amazing. Make sure to tell them that Rudy Berkis sent you if you go there. The pool was, I'm not gonna lie, the pool was a little... Again, I feel so bad saying dirty because I don't want to say dirty, but like, you know, you could see little like critters, you could see like hair. Oh my gosh, I don't want to make this sound like it was horrible because I was still in the pool, I was swimming, I was living my life, but it wasn't like as clean as I would expect. And again, I'll insert pictures and videos so you can see what I mean. But other than that, like the main pool was lit. It was a vibe. We played music on our speaker. Then they told us that we couldn't, but then we did it anyway. So it was cool. It was fun, and I enjoyed it. So a quick plug is if you are wanting to visit this resort or any other resort in DR or anywhere in the Caribbean, Latin America, I can plan your trip for you. I can do all of the research from your flights to your hotels, excursions, travel insurance. And the best part of it is that you don't have to lift a finger. All you have to do is pack your bags and show up to the airport. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, visit my website. I'll put it right here at the bottom of the video, or feel free to follow me on Instagram at Crafted Journeys Co. and reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to plan a trip for you in 2024, maybe to the DR or anywhere in the world. Okay, so the next part I'll talk about are the food and the drinks. So at the swim up bar, Melvin and Angelito, they was making sure the drinks hit. They were amazing. For the food, we only visited 2 different restaurants. We did the buffet, and then we did their 24/7 pub. So first and foremost, the reason why we were limited in where we could go is because the hotel was packed. It was so many people. Again, obviously I went during COVID, so it wasn't as packed. Like, there were still a lot of people, but not to the degree that there were this year. And I guess that makes sense because it's a holiday, so everyone's traveling in the holiday. But it was so many people to the point where I was just like a little bit like uncomfortable, and like I felt claustrophobic. I was like, damn, like everybody and their mamas is here. So because of that, when we tried to make reservations to like the hibachi spot and the Italian restaurant, they were all booked. And, you know, they would tell us like, oh, the wait is like 75 minutes. And, you know, unfortunately we were with a big group. So like, you know, people were hungry. We didn't want to wait. So we always just used to go to the buffet because it was always available and open. For me personally, I enjoyed breakfast at the buffet more than I enjoyed like lunch and dinner. Breakfast, you had like your typical, you know, omelet station, pancakes, waffles, juices. And I really enjoyed that. They had some really good stuff. And then lunch and dinner, I felt like it was typical buffet food. It was like, you know, subpar. Like, you would find certain things that were really, really good. And then other things that were just like, meh, they're okay. For New Year's Eve, they did have a special New Year's Eve dinner, which was really nice. They had an abundance of food. There was so many different options, and that dinner I really enjoyed. Like, you could tell that it was more elevated than like their regular dinner service. Again, it was hella packed in there, so you had to make reservations. But I really enjoyed that dinner service. The pub, let me tell y'all, the pub was my saving grace because room service is not included in your stay unless you're like in the platinum package. So if you're not in the platinum package, room service costs extra money. So I was like, I ain't paying that. I'm gonna go to the pub that they have right by the lobby that's 24/7. And I ordered wings and fries every single day, and every single day those wings and fries slapped. Like, they were so well seasoned. I ain't even need no ketchup, no sauce, nothing. It was so good. They also had other things like burgers and quesadillas. But you know, my cousin said that those were like okay, but the wings though, the wings is where it's at. So definitely recommend hitting up the pub. I wish I could tell y'all a little bit more about the like other restaurants. In 2020, I did go to one of their Italian restaurants, and I was lit, but apparently it wasn't that good, my cousin said. But yeah, I guess take everything with a grain of salt. So, okay, for the entertainment. So again, we were there for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So they had like a big New Year's Eve celebration, which is always fun. I always have like a kind of love and hate relationship with like hotels and entertainment, just because you can tell that like a lot of their entertainment caters primarily to like European travelers. So like, even though we were in the Dominican Republic, you know, you wasn't hearing a lot of like, you know, Dominican music. You weren't hearing a lot of merengue, bachata, salsa, Hispanic music. You were mostly hearing like rock and roll and stuff like that, which I don't mind. Like, I still like it, but you know, sometimes I was just like, all right, can we play something else? But the New Year's Eve celebration, they went all out. Like, they went in. After the countdown was over, then they started playing like Hispanic music and whatnot, which I was like, but okay. They apparently have shows. They have like a really big theater and they have shows every night. I never made it to one of the shows, but I know like all the kids were in there, which is great. They also have a casino on site, not like directly on site where like you can walk right next to the lobby, but if you walk towards the entrance of the resort, like the casino is there. So if that's something that people are interested in or they look for, that's something good to know. I will say that, like, you know, after 10, 11, like that's it. There's not really much to do. You're either going to the casino or like you're going to the pub that's by the lobby, or you're going to like the bar that's by the lobby and you're just chilling with whoever you came with. At the pub they did some like live music, which was nice. But you know, there's not really much to do, you know, for adults that maybe want to stay up a little bit later. There's like no club or no disco or anything like that. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so who is this resort for? I do feel a little bit bad because this sounds like a review that had a lot of like negatives, but it's not necessarily that it's a bad resort. More so, it's just a specific type of resort for a specific type of traveler. So first things first, I will only recommend this to people looking for family friendly. I don't think it's one of those resorts that like you can go as adults and like still enjoy it. I think it's just like overwhelmingly family friendly to the point where I was kind of like, FTK, if you know, you know. I will also recommend this for people that are looking for budget. And I do even feel a certain way saying budget because right now I looked and like the average price is about $300 a night. And for me, like I feel like that's even way too much for like the quality and the service that you get. But in comparison to other resorts in the area, that is cheaper. So if you're looking to save a couple bucks, I would recommend this resort. I also recommend this resort for, you know, like family. So like, you know, I went with like my mom, my aunts, and my uncles, and it was great for them because, you know, they were older, so they didn't really care much about like a lot of the things that like me and my cousins cared about. So I think it's definitely good for like that kind of vibe, like family reunion type thing. And you know, again, like even though there were things that I feel like could be improved on, I don't think that it's a resort that you shouldn't visit. I definitely think it's a great option, all depending on what it is that you're looking for. So I really hope that you enjoyed this review and that this was very helpful. As always, if you are interested in traveling somewhere in the Caribbean, Latin America, or anywhere in the world, please consider working with me. I will be more than happy to take all of the hard work of planning off of you so that you can just enjoy your trip because you deserve it. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for my next video.